Hello, Bronco fans and football fans alike. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown, January 29th, 2021. I am your host, Bronco Bill, and this is Broncos Breakdown postseason. So, before I get into a couple of my topics, I'm going to have to bring a very, very serious issue regarding the Denver Broncos. Nobody passed away. No major cuts like Von Miller or anybody else like that is gone. But it has to do with the ownership possibilities of the Broncos. It has to do with lawsuits. And I have not heard a lot of this on the 104.3 The Fan or any other Denver outlet. But I did some digging and I did find out the latest. Now, I don't have it memorized, and I do want to bring it word for word, so I am going to read it. So please bear with me, guys. I'm not going to make this long. I'm going to read what it says. I'm going to explain what it says afterwards from what I've gathered and what I know the different meanings of the wording. So I'm going to bring all that to you. So like I said, please bear with me. I would love to just bring fun and games like always, Broncos win or Broncos get this guy or that guy or whatever. But I do need to bring the hardcore facts because that's what this video is about. It's not about my personality. It's about facts and truth and what's happening with the Denver Broncos. So here it goes. Let me read this to you first off. It says the Broncos file suit against Edgar Kaiser estate to confirm termination of first refusal rights. Now, I'm going to explain what the first refusal rights is after I read this, because I want to get this issue out of the way. There's two lawsuits, guys, not just one. There's two, and one is this first refusal rights. The other one is the Boland ladies. That are trying to, I'll get into that a little bit later. I want to do this first. It says right here, the Broncos companies are seeking to confirm unenforceably of Kaiser right of first refusal agreement with Pat Bowlen when the two engaged in a sale of the Denver Broncos in 1984. That's when Pat Bowlen bought the Denver Broncos. The purpose of the legal maneuvering from the Broncos end is to hopefully help smooth, bear with me, guys. Hopefully help smooth the transition from the Pat Bowlen Trust to eventual owner, whether that is through a sale or transferred to a member of the Bowlen family. Now, that's important, and that's very important. I'll get to it in a little bit. Lawyers for the PDB Sports and Bowlen Sports were contacted in May of 2020 by the Rights of First Refusal Holding, a Vancouver corporation started by the Kaiser Group in 2005. The Rights of First Refusal Holdings told the Broncos it believed it had the right to match, this is key, guys, it had the right to match the terms of an offer in the event of the team was ever going to be sold. Now, I didn't say if it was going to be sold to the family members. That's not a sale. That is a transfer. The family member hold it. That's not a sale. So let me repeat that again. The Right of First Refusal Holdings told the Broncos it believed it had the right to match the terms of an offer in the event the team was going to ever be sold. The lawsuit filed by PDB Sports and Bowlen names the defendants Right of First Refusal Holdings 12 LLC, Kaiser's widow Susan Mullen Kaiser, who's also director and officer of the RFR Holdings and co-trustee of Kaiser's estate, and two executive trustees of the Edgar F. Kaiser Jr. estate. This lawsuit is a proactive, necessary step to ensure an efficient transition of ownership, whether the team remains in the Bowlen family or is sold. So basically, what the Kaiser Group is trying to say is they can match whatever the amount is that the Broncos will be sold. Let's say the Broncos are sold to, I don't know, somebody's still in Denver, some multi-billionaire or whatever in Denver, and the Kaiser Group says, okay, the Broncos are being sold for X amount of dollars. We can match it. That's what they're trying to say. This Bolin estate is saying no. The first refusal right is not in effect anymore, and I'll explain that in a little bit. We are confident that the court will find the right of first refusal is no longer enforceable, consistent with Colorado law and the intentions of Pat Bolin and Edgar Kaiser in their written agreement more than 36 years ago. Now, I don't know what the statute of limitations are in Colorado because I live in California. But I'm assuming, going by what they're saying, is that the Colorado law is saying that 36 years is too much. Let me continue. This is not the first time the matter of the Kaiser's rights of first refusal agreement with the Bolins have been in dispute. In 1999, Kaiser sued Bolin in both federal and state courts, claiming the right of first refusal had been triggered. In both cases, the courts ruled in the Bolin favor. Of course they did. Pat Bolin didn't put the team up for sale in 1999. So I don't know what the Kaiser group is trying to say that it had been initiated in 99. That being said, Kaiser died in 2012, and Bolin lost his lengthy battle against Alzheimer's in June, and we all know, of 2019. That brings me to the second lawsuit, or not lawsuit, excuse me, the second court battle, and that's between the Bolin sisters, the daughters of Pat Bolin. They are doing a civil lawsuit, and this is what this one is. Meanwhile, the three trustees of the Pat D. Bolin Trust, Joe Ellis, Rich Slivka, and Mary Kelly, are defendants in a civil lawsuit brought against them by Pat Bolin's two oldest daughters, who are Annie Bolin Clemmer and Beth Bolin Wallace. The eldest daughters seek to have their father's trust invalidated on the grounds he lacked mental capacity when the trust was last executed in 2009. The trial is set for Arapahoe County Court Judge John Scipione. Was first set to be heard in September of 2020. It has now been rescheduled for July 12th, 2021. Okay, guys, I read that for word for word. Now, the reason why I brought that in is simply this. The Broncos are in a horrendous mess. And it's showing on the field. But let me go back to this right of first refusal. The right of first refusal simply means this. If the court rules in the Bolin trustee favor, that means that the Broncos can sell the team, or I should say the trust can sell the team to whomever. It can go to Beth, it can go to Emily, it can go to whomever within the family, or it can be sold to an outside entity. And what it means is that even though the Kaiser Group can match it, it doesn't matter. The Bolins can sell it to whomever they want to. And they don't have to sell it to the Kaiser Group. So that I hope is ruled in the Broncos' favor, or I should say the Bolin favor. And the reason why is because we all know that we want this Broncos team to remain in the Pat Bolin family. I really am in favor of Beth taking over. I really am. Beth seems to have the best interest. I mentioned this in several videos previous. She seems to have the best interest in what the Broncos want. Now, that being said, I don't agree with the civil suit. I firmly believe that Pat Bolin was in his right mind when he did the trustee in 2009. I don't want that one overturned, because I think it's going to come out to a very, very beyond ugly situation, more than it already is between the 7 kids. Amy and Beth are the leading candidates, for lack of a better word. to take over the Broncos as the owner. I don't want to go into some kind of a free for all and a war between the kids. I don't want that. It's already gotten to that to some degree. So, anyways, that's the news I had to bring to you guys. I didn't want to bore you with that, but I had to get it out there. I had to get out the information because nobody else is talking about it. Nobody else is bringing up this right of first refusal, and it's very important, extremely important, because if it's ruled in favor of the Kaiser Foundation and estate, then that could be catastrophic for the Broncos, because that means the Kaiser Foundation could take over, and then who knows what happens. I don't want that. I want this in control of the Bronco kids, the Bronco girls, primarily, and I want this to be remaining in the Bronco family. If they choose to sell it to somebody else, then I want them to have the right and the opportunity to pick who they want. All right, guys, that's enough said about that. Let's go on to actual on-play football news. Everybody knows that Matthew Stafford is out there and is basically shopping around to see who wants to take it. Well, it's really not his choice. It's going to be a trade issue from the Detroit Lions. Now, I've heard through different avenues that Matthew Stafford could be traded as early as Monday. If that's being said, the Broncos better get on the phone if they haven't already. I haven't heard whether or not they've contacted Stafford's agent, whether they've contacted the Lions personnel, ownership, whatever, GM. I haven't heard that. But what I do know is that the news coming out saying that Matthew Stafford could be traded as early as Monday is quite alarming, because the Broncos need to make a move if they're going to get Matthew Stafford. Now, I've also heard that Deshaun Watson is not happy in Houston. We all know that, and he wants a trade. And Houston isn't willing right now to want to trade him, of course. That's their franchise quarterback, but he's not happy. He said he's not going to report to anything that Houston has to offer, whether it be meetings or Zoom meetings, in-person workouts, whatever. He's not doing anything with Houston. He wants a trade. Now, in order to get Deshaun Watson, it's going to cost the Broncos an arm and a leg, like I mentioned before. I've heard that it could cost the Broncos a first round this year, their second round this year. Drew Lock, a first round next year, a first round in 2022. No, that's way too much. That's way too much. And the reason why I say that is because we don't know how he's going to work out. I mean, yeah, he's a great quarterback. I get that. But do you give up 3 first rounders and a second and Drew Lock? Okay, Drew Lock, I could understand. Get rid of him. I get that. But wow, 3 first rounders and a second this year? I'm not sure I'm willing to do that. I think Matthew Stafford's going to come at a much, much easier situation to manage. I really do. I don't think Matthew Stafford's not going to garnish that type of revenue. I think that Matthew Stafford's probably going to be Drew Lock, a first. I don't know, maybe a tight end like Noah Fant. Hopefully not Jerry Jeudy. I don't know. I definitely don't want to give up quality players like Jeudy or Noah Fant. But I will give up Drew Lock in a heartbeat. Absolutely. 100%. I'll give him up. And I also think that the Broncos should draft a quarterback. Now, they may have to give up number 9. They may have to give Detroit their number 9 pick, which is their first rounder, and Drew Lock, and possibly their second round. Would I take that? Well, yeah. I mean, if we're giving up Drew Lock, then we need a quarterback. So yeah, I say that we need to do that. But I don't want Matthew Stafford to come at a high price. I really don't. We can't afford to have Matthew Stafford come at a high price because we need to have our key players. I don't know what the Broncos are doing with Von Miller. That hasn't been addressed yet. It's still in the infancy stage with the general manager, George Payton. We're on a 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day watch. Hopefully within 30 days, he can get a Matthew Stafford, or he can get maybe a Jared Goff. I mean, I heard he's out there. I've also heard that Aaron Rodgers is out there, although I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be in the same category as Deshaun Watson. So I'm really looking at Matthew Stafford, and I really like to see him come to Denver and be our quarterback. Whether we keep Drew Lock or not, Matthew Stafford should be the starting quarterback if we get him. Okay, guys, that's all the news that I have up front now. I'm sorry for it being short on the active Bronco list as far as players and who they're looking at. But I definitely had to bring that news to you about the right of first refusal involving Edgar Kaiser estate and the Pat Bowlen estate. Anything breaks in the meantime between now, Friday the 29th, and next Friday in February, I will definitely bring it to you. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Get ready for next week and the Super Bowl following weekend. And I may touch on the Super Bowl and what I think and my predictions next Friday. Barring any major Bronco news, that's probably what I'll focus on. So, guys, stay tuned. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.